es una trágica historia de amor.
Quiero confiar en ti, pero ¿puedo?
Ven conmigo, Francisca.
Francisca no. Soy Frankelda.
I am Frankelda. No, I am Larkir. Or Soy Frankelda, since this is a Spanish language film. Don't worry though, an English dub is probably in the works too. Let me tell you, I have been trying to find this movie for months now. It originally released last year in Guadalajara and has immediately become a fan favorite and cemented itself in film history as the first ever fully stop motion movie out of Mexico. That's right, this little Ghost Rider movie is a piece of history. Whoa! It has an exposition, it has a TV show that is dubbed in English, and it even has extensive details in the credits of each episode and the film that show behind the scenes moments from concept art to how models and the sets were made, and all of it is incredibly cool. I was actually turned on to this movie after seeing several clips of various scenes pop up on my TikTok, along with other clips of cosplayers dressing up as Frankelda herself, and that got me extremely curious about this film. I had seen the show on HBO Max, but I had never actually checked it out. I just kind of assumed it was for children. So, whatever, my bad. Unfortunately, the movie is being held back right now by some red tape that is keeping it region locked for the moment. Soy Frankelda is only available on HBO Max and only in Mexico. So if you want to watch it legally, you will need a VPN. I'm also not sure if the current version has English subtitles available, but there are several different versions online if you are savvy enough to sail the pirate seas. And I do encourage you to watch this movie if you have the chance, whether legally is the best way always, but if for some reason you can't, the seas are a viable option. It also helps si hable español. I Am Frankelda is an independent, low-budget movie that really needs more eyes on it. This is an indie darling out of Mexico and somehow earned 50 times its original budget. It's only been a few months. How? The show, Frankelda's Book of Spooks, is also available on HBO Max in most territories and has a full English dub, although personally, I prefer the original Spanish audio. Pero ¿qué es Frankelda? ¿Cuál es la historia de esta película? Como siempre me está adelantando a los acontecimientos. I'm getting ahead of myself. What is Frankelda even about? I Am Frankelda is an interesting film and subsequent sequel TV series, or I guess the other way around, the TV came first, so the movie is a prequel to it. Either way, they follow a literal ghost rider named Frankelda and her scary stories. The movie serves as an origin for her and her Book of Spooks. The film follows a young writer in Mexico in the 1870s named Francisca, who wants nothing more than to be a writer and a teller of scary stories, having a very deep love for the art and the fantasy of it all. When she is told by her peers and other people around her that women just can't be writers, and that especially she shouldn't be writing these scary stories, she instead discovers a strange monster named Herneval.
El príncipe de los sustos.
El Príncipe de los Sustos, the Prince of the Spooks. He needs her help and her stories to revitalize a strange fictional world called El Plano de los Sustos, the Spook Realm, as humans are having less nightmares and therefore causing the residents of the realm to slowly die off. There is a lot going on, including a potential civil war between Herneval's royal family and the royal nightmare maker, who is a big spider creature named Procustes. There's a lot here, just a ton of lore, and somehow it doesn't get overwhelming. I'm getting overwhelmed just trying to type it all out here, but okay. This is a dark fairy tale that works somehow, especially given a lot of Frankelda's stories are also cautionary tales, like most simple horror stories for kids are. Think scary stories to tell in the dark, kind of. Surprisingly, this movie is also pretty dark, with some disturbing visuals and a couple of violent bits where characters definitely die on screen. Of course, it's all done with stop motion, so it really isn't that bad. This is considered a children's film, after all, so it's not terrible. The show, Los Sustos Ocultos de Frankelda, Frankelda's Book of Spooks, is much more geared towards children in that regard. There's not as many disturbing visuals. That one is 5 episodes, and the movie serves as a prequel to it. One of the only things I really dislike is that the show and the movie both end on cliffhangers with multiple unanswered questions. But I guess that just means we're going to get at least a sequel series or movie, so here's to hoping. Overall, though, this story is really well done. These characters, especially Frankelda herself, are a ton of fun to watch, and they are incredibly well designed. Procustus may be one note, but he also introduces several other wild monster characters to look at, and he's also just kind of a gross spider monster with all these little details here that are constantly moving. It's really neat. And Herneval is, well, he's a sexy bird man, so I don't know. The spook realm is also just really cool and interesting with bright colors absolutely everywhere. Think of it like the world of the dead from The Corpse Bride, kind of, but this one is instead full of Mexican folklore and characters and scenes. That's another thing. Frankelda and the world of the Sustos are not based on real Mexican mythos, like I originally thought, but instead they serve as a unique, creative interpretation of a fictional fantasy world that includes some aspects of Mexican folklore, like El Coco, the Mexican boogeyman, or Chupasangre or Chupacabras, because this world is entirely made up of human fiction. If someone dreams it, characters and monsters from that dream take shape and become real in this world, only disappearing once humans stop being afraid of them or stop dreaming about them. This makes it easier for these directors to tell their own story, but still keep a very distinctive Mexican flair and give meaning to their main character being a writer. I think that's incredibly smart. I really like that. And I think it's executed very well here. Even though the movie is admittedly held back by an incredibly low budget and a lack of experience from its team, the team, Cinema Fantasma, is relatively small, and Frankelda is their first foray into large-scale programming. Outside of the movie and the show, they've really only done bumpers and advertisements for other things like Adult Swim. This, combined with the tiny budget, does give the film a very odd, choppy look. It's not nearly as smooth and polished as, say, anything from Studio Laika. Most of the scenes, especially ones with a lot of movement, and a lot of these characters have tons of stringy bits to them that are constantly moving. I mean, Procustus is a spider. He has 8 legs compared with his arms and his eyes. Like, come on. But anyway, a lot of these scenes with a lot of movement will be incredibly choppy with very low frame rates. Sometimes smaller models have a noticeable lack of finer detail or moving joints, but personally, I think it adds to the charm. It is noticeable, but if you can get past it, it really works here. The budget for this film was only about $65,000 USD, and yet somehow it has made almost $3 million USD in only a few months, and only domestically. That's ridiculously impressive for such a small project, and I think that's a testament to the project's overall quality. It might have something to do with Guillermo del Toro also getting involved. Originally, this movie was supposed to be a 30-minute special for the TV show, but then Guillermo del Toro got involved, and the scope ballooned into an almost 2-hour movie. So that's cool. The voice acting and the singing are wonderful as well, and they only add to the experience here. And yeah, that's right, this movie is also a musical. While it only has a handful of songs, I think there's like 3 or 4, they are all incredibly memorable, especially Tinta Invisible, Invisible Ink. That particular song has become Frankelda's overall theme, and it's just really sweeping, kind of dark, kind of romantic. It really works. All of the music, as far as I can tell, was recorded with a live orchestra and has some incredibly impressive voices to match, including several operatic tones and just a really fun and emotional performance from Frankelda's voice actress.
Yo ya había estado aquí, atrapado en una celda. Yo ya había estado aquí, cegada por la esperanza. Él ya me traicionó, desleal, nunca lo pensé. Él ya me traicionó, dijo que confiara en él. El príncipe de los sustos.
Let's get into the acting actually here. Frankelda is voiced by Mireia Mendoza, and mark my words, you will be seeing so much more of her in the future. She voices Frankelda in the movie, does her singing, and also does the English dub of Frankelda in the TV show, and oh my god, she's so good at this. This lady is Frankelda. She has all these little giggles and unstable mannerisms that befit the ghostwriter to a T and really expand just how excitable and fun Frankelda can be as a character. Mendoza has done multiple other voice work for dubbing for other movies like Barbie and other TV shows and anime, but I swear she's going to be a breakout star in voice acting in general. Maybe if she can get into the English audience, that'd be great. I think it's fantastic what she's done so far. She's got an amazing voice and a great cadence. I just don't see a future where she does not succeed doing this. Some really great work here. I'm so excited to see more of her. The sexy bird, El Príncipe de los Sustos, Herneval, is voiced by Arturo Mercado Jr., and while I think he does a fantastic job, it's just really hard to compare him with Mendoza. She kind of steals the show here, but his chemistry with her as Frankelda is impossible to ignore. These two are a great team, and especially when they sing their duet, it's even better. There are some damn good pipes on these guys. I don't think there's a bad singer in this movie at all. God, it's so hard to criticize here. Even my criticism just boils down to, it's just okay. At least now I speak Spanish so I can understand the cadences better, but oh my god. Back on track. Herneval is such an interesting character, and Mercado here really sells him. I think he sounds better when he's inhabiting Frankelda's book though, giving himself this gravelly, more monstrous voice. But it makes sense to have him with a more melodic cadence when he's in full Prince of the Spooks outfit and doing all that. It doesn't make sense to have the book start singing full operatic. There are a ton of other actors and singers in this as well, but I would be remiss if I did not mention the royal nightmare maker himself, Procustes, voiced by Luis Leonardo Suarez, and oh my god, does this guy own this spider dude. Procustes is this larger-than-life, slimy spider monster that clearly is trying to expand his own power. He's an obvious antagonist, but overall, just a ton of fun whenever he's on screen. And a lot of that, I think, is thanks to Suarez's performance here. He's got this rumbling deep voice to convey status because this character is obsessed with his status, but is also rather bumbling at times, like all child villains are. But then when the music kicks on and this guy has to sing, he only has one song, all of a sudden you get this very booming opera voice that admittedly fits Procustes' character perfectly, but I personally was not expecting to hear. Thought it would be more like Scar, but no, it's just this booming sound.
A salvar el topuz terrentus, por nuestra especie poder pactar. Él ya nos traicionó y nos querrá destrozar.
It's only one song, but it is done so well as the 11 o'clock number in this movie, and it is just so cool to hear. I really, really like it. Honestly, there isn't a single bad voice actor in this at all, and even more honestly, it's hard to criticize this movie as a whole. Almost everything works, and the only real complaints I have can be attributed to the budget and the lack of experience. That is really saying something here. It is so incredibly rare for a first-time performance to come out that is not only this well received, but this exceptionally well done. Everything in this works. Frankelda and Herneval are incredible character designs. You can immediately see them even from their silhouettes. It just works so well. El Plano de los Sustos is vibrant and imaginative with some wild monsters inside of it. The songs are gorgeous and immediately hummable. The voice acting is on point, and the story is overall engaging and fun with some darker moments to really set itself apart from anything else going on while still being digestible for younger viewers. It just all works. I do like the movie more than the show, as I feel the show is just a bit more slightly leaning towards children, but it is still wildly imaginative. The show even includes side characters and monsters that didn't really get much screen time in the movie, so it's cool to see them showing up again. I get that it's mostly just to reuse character models, but they fit so well with this unique idea of these monsters having to show up in nightmares and these stories just to continue existing. I really like that. I have to give tremendous props to the creators of Frankelda, the Ambrose brothers, Arturo and Roy. You guys have something so special here, and it really turned out to be something that not only I, but a ton of other people are really grabbing onto, if the amount of cosplayers I've seen are to be believed. If I did have to gripe about anything, I'd say that the pacing can be a little off in some places, and maybe with some musical moments taking a bit too long with their instrumentals, or maybe including random characters to sing a verse, but even then, when that happens, the visuals take the chance to go absolutely crazy. Sometimes we'll get sweeping visuals of this already extremely cool to look at world, or sometimes the film will suddenly switch art styles entirely and change to hand-painted slides or moving crystal figures. It is wild and cool to just see what is gonna happen. Some story segments do go on a bit too long, like the opening with Child Francisca. That takes a while to really get going, but overall, complaining about it feels like a nitpick. This movie is something special, truly something unique and independent, and with the possibility to really shine and expand its world. It definitely cements its place in history. I can see Frankelda becoming a Mexican icon if she isn't already, so that's cool. Unfortunately, Am Frankelda has not been announced to be getting localized just yet, and more than likely has a localization in the works, just because the TV show was fully localized and the film is doing amazing in international film festivals, but hey, nothing is confirmed as of yet. I really, truly hope that you guys will look for this film and try to watch it if you can. If not legally through a VPN, then definitely sail the seas if you can, or ask a friend for some help. The more eyes on this piece of art and the more people talking about it means the wider reach it will grab and the likelihood of localization increasing. This is truly something special, and it deserves all of the attention it can get. Hopefully we get a sequel series, maybe a sequel movie. I'd be incredibly excited for that, so fingers crossed. So ultimately, Soy Frankelda gets an 8.5 out of 10 from me. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around for another one. First movie of 2026, and it's a banger. I'm glad I did this and not something like Primate or something else that I feel is gonna get dumped on because it's January. It's the dumping movie month, so but this was so much fun. I'm so glad I was able to see it and review it. I watched the show as well. All of this was just a ton of fun. Next week, we do have 28 Years Later, Bone Temple. I'm hearing good things. I'll review it, don't worry. I don't really have much else. I've been talking for a while now already, but definitely give this a watch. I would love to see more Frankelda just in general. I think she and Herneval and Procustes are just so strong characters. They could really survive in any situation you put them in. Just all three of them work so well as a backbone for a story or something. And Frankelda as a ghost rider, I just love the pun. I think that's great, but it also helps that she is unstable and incredibly giggly and has these insane ghost facial reactions to things. I think it's great. I really like it. I want to see so much more. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. After that, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, ring that bell so you don't miss a video. And yeah, that's all I got for today. Also, did you know I speak Spanish? I speak Spanish. Anyway, let me know in the comments below, and after that, hey, have a great day, and if you're not, have a better one. See ya.
I'm just a ghost in your stereo, the fading memory of a shipwreck in the undertow. You're just a lost song.